welcome to The John Show with your host, John Doogie Clouser.
All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Clouser. This is episode 107. I know, 207. I just scared the shit out of my dog. What's up, guys? How are you? So, what's up? Hope you guys doing well. Doing swell. Living off the land. So, like I said, new week, new podcast. I really have no idea how to begin this episode. So I'm just going to start talking. So did you guys know that the most humane way of killing an octopus is literally biting it between like its eyes and shit, like right where its brain is? It's weird. It's the weirdest shit in the world. So, it's weird. I don't know how I came onto this, but let's look at does biting an octopus kill it? Both biting and stabbing have the same results. You pierce the nerve center, the brain stops functioning, the octopus turns a ghost white. The third least humane way of killing an octopus is to flip the brain inside out and rip out of all the entrails. Wow. Okay, that is okay, that was gross. That was weird. See, this is the weirdest thing. See, when you're Jewish, you're kosher, or for the most part, you're kosher. You try to be. Really, I would say I am kosher 95% of the time. The only time I don't go kosher is when I'm eating. I'll eat like a pepperoni pizza. And usually the only time I ever fucking order pizza is when I'm with like a group of people, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be the asshole who's like, I'm kosher. I find most seafood, if I actually tell you the truth, I find all seafood incredibly gross. I see people put those gloves on, and I'm like, anytime you have to put fucking gloves on to eat a food because the smell of it will just linger onto you. And is that the reason why you guys do it, or is it because it's all the mess? But either way you look at it, then you lay down paper on a table, and then you just throw, there's shellfish, there's shrimp, there's other fish meats, there's like half corn on a cob, like potatoes, and you guys just eat it off a table. Like there's not even a plate. It makes no sense to me. I'm just like, ugh, like, ugh, why would you? And like, I sit there. I'm like, ugh, ugh. When I see people eat crab, they're like, oh, soft shell crab. It is the best thing in the world. It is just it's so delicious. It's to die for. I'm like, you're eating a fucking bug. Ugh. Oh. And I think the reason why, there's a conspiracy theory that like the Jews are the ones that started the plague. It's just, there's always things that people like to say, but really where it comes from is the fact that like when Jews eat bread, like back in the day, they would wash their hands, and like no one else was really fucking washing their hands or anything like that. And so that might be the reason why they weren't getting diseases. But hey, what do I know? And so that's the reason why we don't eat pork. A lot of it's just because of diseases, and there's no way of like. Honestly, to tell you the truth, what I really do think of a lot of it is like, yeah, probably diseases, but a lot of it too is like there was no fucking crabs in the desert. There was no where the fuck are they? You go to the ocean close, but like a lot of time, like you're not gonna be close. I guess you are kind of. Then, like trichinosis, you can get trichinosis from pigs. Like it's just pig meat. Like it's just and like pig is gross. And like which is weird too is like you would think that we wouldn't eat chicken because like chickens are pretty gross, and then like the fact that you have to cook chicken at a certain temperature to get salmonella, it's gross that we have to like. It's weird. Isn't that weird that we have to? I guess it's not because I guess bacteria's. Oh, did my dog leave? I think she just left. She's like, oh God, he's doing a podcast. I'm gonna get up and go. Like, all right, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna head out. But yeah, it's just to me, it's just a lot easier. And the greatest thing about it is like you go to parties, you go to events, you go to things that require other people to like cook food and then bring it, and you're just like, yeah, I can't eat that. Like, kosher. I can't eat beef with dairy. It's just one of those things. I have to eat one and I have to wait 30 minutes and eat the other. It's just part of it's just part of the whole thing that I do. It's just me, and I don't like to bring a big deal about it. And that's the reason why you don't ever really hear me talk about it, is because it's just like, I just feel like if I were to talk about it, I'm bringing all the attention, putting onto myself, and that's just not something I want to do. And then people are like, oh, okay, whatever. So it's a great way. And also, barbecue's gross. I think barbecue is one of the most horrific foods, because there's to me, it doesn't make any sense. If you have to smother something with a bunch of sauce, it means it's not good. Like, you should do a little bit of salt and pepper. Really, in retrospect, you should only have the salt and pepper. I use adobo, and I use all season. I use salt, pepper, adobo, all season, onion powder, garlic powder. There's usually like the only things I use. Like, that's 7 things. And you're solid on that. If you want my opinion on food and how you should cook. And then, like, what I just started doing lately is, like, I started cooking, like, at a low temp. Started cooking my steak and my meat in teriyaki sauce, which I'm like, oh yeah, like, this makes so much sense. Like, why do I not use this more lately? Why do I not use this more? Like, oh, I should definitely do this. And so I've been doing that as well. It's I've been doing all these things. I've been just doing all these things. I guess that's one of the things I want to start doing this week. Not this week, but what I want to start doing on this podcast is like, what was I wrong on this week? And maybe I was wrong on teriyaki sauce and marinade. Like, I know, like, truth, like, when you use marinade, you should, like, orange juice is a really good one, because anything acid wise, lemon's a really good, lemon and lime. And maybe a little orange juice, too. You can add all fucking 3. Beer is pretty good. And just let that shit soak if you want to. But I'm not a big fan of things like, beer cheese soup? I think beer cheese soup is gross. I love cheese soup. It's good. I don't understand why you need to have. Why do you need the taste of beer? What's up? Hey, Lola. Hey, Lola. My dog's here. Hold on. She jumped before I was able to get ready for her. So you want to talk, Lola? Do you have anything to say? Hi. Hey, how are you? How are you, sweetie? Dude, you guys don't understand how much I absolutely adore this little dog. She's 12 pounds of love. She also has a little tiny little like water brush tongue. And she just like, and the thing is she's turning 2. She's almost 2. And she's becoming kind of an asshole, because she's getting very independent, because she's going between a puppy to now being a teenager. And then, like, this time next year, she's going to be, technically a full blown adult. Doggy, look at me, listen to me. And, but yeah, she's like pushing her limits again. So it's like everything, like, she's been really good for the most part. Like, I taught her things, and then, manners and things. And, like, I was expecting it, because what happens with every dog is that they go through, as evolutions, as, what's the word I'm looking for? You want down, Lola? They go through I guess maturity, but that's not the word I was looking for. That's not the word. And so, she's just becoming a dog. Aren't you, Lola? Hey, Lola, speak. Arf. Speak. Can you speak? I don't think she's gonna do it, because I don't have a TREAT. She won't do it. She's not gonna do it. Adolescence. Is that the word? Adolescence? Because I sound like that sounds like a shampoo. Adolescence. But yeah, I went down. I've been talking for like 10 minutes. Like, oh, I should track my audio to make sure I'm actually like talking or not talking, but it's actually recording. Because last week I did a whole podcast and didn't realize I didn't. I only pushed record once. You have to push record and then push it again for it to go. Like you push once, that blinking red light. You push it again, make it a solid red light. You're recording. It's like, oh yay, nice. And so I had to do another fucking thing. But yeah. But I was like, what the fuck? There's a rug underneath me, and her greatest joy is to tear it up. Like, I lay it out flat, and then she goes and she just, like, makes a nest out of it. And then she either, most of the time, 95% of the time, she just, like, walks away. Every once in a while, she'll come and take a nap. But I put more lights in here. I don't know if you guys have noticed. So I don't know if she's going to stay because it might be too bright for her. I also do think she does it, too, to get my attention. Because every time she does it, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you do that? But she's amazing. She's a great dog. I recommend everyone get the chance, get a dog because they are awesome. They are just great. They only bring you joy. And what is it? The thing that they always say, or the thing that I go by, like even like when you get frustrated with them. Because I get frustrated with her sometimes, and I'm like, like when we're going on our walks, and I've gotten a lot better. And she really has helped me a lot with my patience and just gaining a lot more patience. I think about it, I'm like, John, think about when you're 80 years old, and think about like you go back in time, and you have only this like moment that you're having right now, and this is the only moment you're ever gonna have ever again with your dog. Do you want it to be like you yelling at her? No. Or do you want it to be like, oh, come on, good girl, right, Lola? You're a good girl. She's a good girl. Good girl. She's just like, every night we have to have chill time on the couch. So it usually happens between like 9:30, 9:45 to like 10:15, 10:30, where I have to go on the couch. I have to sit down. She sits on my lap. She sits on the couch. She has to, like, that's her way of decompressing, and then she can go to bed. If she doesn't do that, she's just fucking amped, and she like makes a bunch of noise in the bed, not in bed, but in her kennel, which is in the room where I sleep. So it's just like, oh god, you little turd. She's just such an amazing dog, just amazing dog. And I talk about her like I talk about her like someone talks about their child. And she's just waiting for me to get done. It's so funny, yeah, because when I get done, I wrote like 214 words today. Because I'm starting today was like literally a brand new story. I've been working on another story, but I'm like, I don't know. Some stories I feel like they're just rants, and I spend like 2 weeks writing a rant, and I get done. I'm like, I don't know if I can do anything with this. I don't think there's not a real story. There's not like a character, but I'm like, sometimes that's not like, I'm like, it's an opinion piece. That's still like literature. That's still something you could submit to a writing contest. And I'm like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. But I'm like, can you do that? Can I do that? It's like, is that a thing? It's like, I'm like, and so today was day one of writing a new story, which is gonna be weird as hell. It's about a guy It's a third person story. A guy looking at a painting at a girl's house that he's having like a relation with, like over like a long period of time. He goes over to her house, and every time he's over there, he looks at this painting and he just like studies it. And so every time he goes over there, it's like and it's really, honestly, I really want to practice. The main reason behind the story is I want to practice details, going into great details about. It's like, okay, so like what I'm wearing, like I'm wearing a gray polo that lightly sits on like his muscles that project, or and then with his hat that's a bucket hat. And then like, you talk about like how like, oh, since he's been wearing bucket hats, he feels like his life feels so much better. It's a weird thing like that. You just elaborate on things. So like the whole point of the story is just to take like, okay, the table. Then I'm like, I Google a table, like a table set, like that has like, fruits and like, plates on it, it's like that, and I just describe it. I just describe that. I'm like, okay, write that, take that picture and describe that to someone who is blind, like, and just you're just like, okay, how does it look? How tall is it? Is it brown? Is it black? Like simple things, of course, but then go into great details. Does it have a tablecloth on it? What kind of tablecloth? Is there like little rivets in the tablecloth? The rivets can be like a metaphor to something else, maybe. Just you just write a shit ton of different things, and that's the point of this exercise or this story, is to practice that, because you should always be doing something like that. Or I guess if you're doing, this is my theory. I should. Whenever anyone says that, they should be like, this is not like truth or anything like that. This is just my theory. This is my thought of how I think you should be. Like, it's like, or when you're writing, this is how I look at it, is that there really shouldn't be any wasted lines, right? There shouldn't be like, I kind of look at it like a film. You don't show somebody something just to show them. And I know this might be really elementary. I'm really high right now, so like I'm incredibly high. I'm incredibly baked. So I might be not making any sense. But yeah, I just want to I have actually no clue where I'm going with this. Because like I'm just like, no one wants to hear this. Like, I'm like, no one cares about my theory or my thoughts on like writing. Like, just write, dude. No one gives a shit. Just write. My biggest thing is I just want to like just once. I just want to get published just once. You know how cool that'd be? I'd be like, this guy, a guy who looks like me, getting like a polo and a bucket hat. It's like, you? Like, I mean, yeah, me. But 300 words every day. But I was like, where I was really going with this was like, okay, I was like, I wrote like 214 words, and it was the first day of writing a new story. And then I was like, I really don't. I had to give my dog a walk. And I got back. I'm like, I really don't want to write. And I'm like, I gave myself a compromise. I'm like, if you do a podcast, get that done out of the way for the week, then you can just chill the rest of the night. And which I'm probably going to do is that, do you guys know, I feel like such a grandpa, because I know everyone knew but me. Like, where have I been? Like, I like, yeah, like, these things connect to the internet. And like, John, why do you think these things, like these Xboxes and PlayStations, connect to the internet? It's so you can download things onto it. It's like a computer, you dipshit. I feel like such a grandpa because I eventually was like, okay, I'm going to get the new Madden 24, because I have Madden 22. And nothing's wrong with it. I just wanted the updated version, I just wanted that. And then I was like, also been wanting to get Grand Theft Auto, because I've always wanted to. I've never really actually played the actual game. So I got Grand Theft Auto 5. And I'm like, okay. So when I found Grand Theft Auto 5 for it was like $20. I'm like, oh, sweet. Because I'm not going to pay any more. I don't pay more than $23. That'll be the highest I go. That's with tax, like, because it's usually like $22 with tax, like $22.50, something like that. And well, when I was doing my research and trying to find out, I kept calling all these different GameStops, and I'd ask them like, so what's a new, like, I'm like, what's Madden, a used version of Madden on Xbox One? And they were like, what was it? It was like they kept saying it was like 56 something, and I'm like, I'm not paying $56 for a fucking used game, especially a used game. It'd be different if it was like brand new. And so I'm like, fuck it. And they're like, but they're also like, you can also buy it online. And I'm like, buy it online? What the fuck did they mean? I'm like, I don't want to buy it and have to ship it to me, and because I was just thinking like it was the hard disk. And then I was like, wait, hold on. I think you can download game. And I looked online and I saw that you could download it on the app, Microsoft app, and you can download it for $19. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, like, let's just do that. And so boom, I have that, and I have Grand Theft Auto. I've been addicted to Grand Theft Auto. So that's probably what I'll do after this podcast, because I'm a child still. I wear bucket hats. Look at me. It's fun. I don't know. It's different. It's so stupid to be getting into this at the age of 35. But I also, how I look at it is that, like, I'm like, bro, I'm from Honduras, man. I should not even be here. And what blows my mind sometimes is the fact that I even am from Honduras. I'm like, I'm fucking Latin. And I'm like, I mean, I guess in retrospect, you're just Latin. Being Latin, it's just your Latin. It's just your culture. It's your nationality. So besides that, it's not like there's no. It's only humans have put, like, Latinos are like this, black people are like this, white people are like this. Yes, there's stereotype, I guess, but there's things that fit into, like, those things that people use as descriptions. Yeah, I guess. But I'm like, I look at him, I'm like, dude, this is a weird life that you live. You live this crazy life that you live in America, and you just are just fucking out here living it, and and it just blows my mind. So I have that mindset. I'm like, dude, John, like, you do all this other stuff, you make all this different, you write, you do podcasts, you do little short films. Like, nothing's wrong with liking video games. Like, a lot of people like video games, and I'm like, it's just like, I feel like such a fucking loser though, because I like it, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun, and then I'm a little excited because the Madden 24, they updated and got rid of some, which sucks. They got rid of some of the franchise, like the expansion franchises, because you can pick a franchise, and what I love doing is doing that and being the coach, and then relocating a team someplace else and being a completely different organization and playing it from that. But yeah, and so I'm looking really forward to picking one of those and building a team, because it'll be fun. Because that was a thing that I found out in Madden 22. I'm like, oh yeah, you can do this and be a friend and be an expansion team. Like, why would I not do this? Because I used to only play Madden. That's really all I played. And then I downloaded some other one. I downloaded, like, this flying game where you're a fighter pilot, which I haven't played yet. And then Sims 4, it was free. I downloaded the other two because they're free. And I'm like, oh yeah, you can download free game, and there's free games. And so then next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the all access thing for, like, it's like $1 for the first month, and then $16 after that. And I'm going to get GoldenEye. I'm going to play GoldenEye. Because I'm like, I want nostalgia. I want to beat the shit out of that game. Because I haven't played it in forever. I played it when I was a kid. I had it for a while on Nintendo 64. Like, it was so funny because, like, my parents were cool with me having video games, but I could never have any shooting games. So I just mostly just always had sports games. And then when I got older, like my senior year of high school, I got some I guess, for mature games, I guess, whatever. But yeah, and then Grand Theft Auto, did I tell you how fun that game is? It's pretty fun. It's some fun stuff. I feel like such a grandpa. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, you can do that, can't you? Is this annoying, me doing this? Me fucking with this? I didn't realize this. I just noticed this, like, for the last, like 4 or 5 minutes, I've been sitting here, like, moving my hands and stuff, but actually it's because, like, I'm deadlifting heavy fucking weight now again, and it's been a minute. It's been like 2 years since I've, like, really, like, really heavily, like, lifted, and there's a massive difference from when I really lift versus, like, when I just, like, am just, I guess, maintaining. It's not even maintaining. I'm just doing lightweight. Like, the most I would used to do would be, like, 60 pounds curls and stuff like that. And now I'm doing deadlifts. I'm doing deadlifting twice a week. And, like, every time I do it, I'm gaining 10 more pounds, which is going to plateau here in a second. It's going to flatten out. So I'm not really worried about it, but I'm like, and I'm like, and what's so crazy is, knock on wood, is that I'm doing it nice and slow this time, not like an asshole when I was young. and I was playing sports. But that's when you're supposed to do it because your body's young and it's nimble, and that's when you're supposed to beat all to hell. But deadlifting, and plus also when I'm 35, but I'm also incredibly good shape for a man who's 35 years old. I got told this week, they're like, yeah, like how old are you? I'm like 35. Like, you don't look 35. I'm like, well, thank you so very much. That's awesome to hear because I try to be well put together. I eat well, rice. It's either rice, chicken, or broccoli, or rice. Right. Right now it's rice, ground beef, and broccoli because I just want more fat. And I get the fattiest, so I get 70-20, or was it 70-30, or 75-25, something like that. 80-20, somewhere around there. Because I want more fat, and I like cooking in the fat of the ground beef because fat, it helps build testosterone. And when you do that, then you have more testosterone running through you, which then in my theory, because there's no science behind this other than the fact that this helps my body and this is what works for me, is that I just feel fuller. I feel more fuller in the sense of like stomach wise, in this of food and being hungry, not being hungry, and also too I feel fuller in my muscles. If you can't tell, vascular right now, so I've been flexing a lot, being like, oh yeah, I wonder if this is showing up on the camera or not, because I'm an asshole like that. I remember when I was young. When I was young, it doesn't happen anymore. Probably stopped when I was 32. Was that when I drink a lot of water? I get incredibly vascular. When I was in my early 20s, holy shit. Also, the other reason why it was like that is because I was only 185, 190 pounds. Now I'm trying to push over 210. So life is a lot different. And the thing is, I can gain all that weight, and it does not look anything. You can't tell at all. I have such a weird frame that one, my body proportionally holds it well. But two, I just don't hold weight weird. I hold weight right here, but it's not even that bad because my frame is just way better. Whenever there's a lot more mass, that's the word I'm looking for, mass, then I do better. And goddamn, great bucket hats. Bucket hats are the greatest. What else do I have? Oh, I have 2 minutes left, don't I? Shit. So I wanted to do this podcast early because on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, Chiefs are playing. If you can't tell, I have Chiefs stuff in the back. Love the Chiefs. First football game I ever went to was the Chiefs. Growing up, every year I'd go to a Chiefs game. I'm a Rams fan too, but Chiefs always will have a place in my heart, and especially now they have Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks, and it's just such a beautiful thing seeing where the Chiefs have been to where they are now. And I just love it, and it's so cool to watch this dynasty because we're watching something that's happening. Because I think we all took for granted the Tom Brady and Bill Belichick one. So seeing this is so much better. It's not better, but it's just you just enjoy it more, or we can enjoy this one now. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this. That's the sound of the podcast saying I can be done. I'm gonna play Grand Theft Auto. I'm gonna wear my bucket hat and wear this polo and look absolutely adorable. Well, I will see you guys on the next episode. All right. Wash your hands. Be safe. Don't eat seafood, and don't eat pork. Bye.